Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Woman Factory. This is Kiana Powell. I am currently a first time expecting mother. I am currently 5 months and 20 weeks as to date. And today I am discussing the first trimester blues. So trying to keep up with, the different trimesters can become a little tricky. With me, I keep up mostly through my apps. I love my apps. My apps are like my little Bible in a way because they're always telling me, the progress of the baby, what I should be expecting, what I'm probably going through, what the baby is probably going through, giving me some tips and advice. So it's very helpful. So, being in the second trimester is way better than the first. I'm not trying to scare you all about the first trimester, but it really is true of what people say about the first trimester blues, because your body is like now really, really, really adjusting to this new, situation that's going on right now. And my first trimester was very different. And different in the sense of different to me of what I've experienced. You know what I mean? So I was not the type to throw up. I did have my, different occasions that I did, but it wasn't because of like just consistently not feeling well. It was just probably because of something that I ate that, myself and the baby didn't agree with. But for the most part, I was just always sleepy. My energy was really low. My body ached in a way. I can't really explain it, but it was just, I felt like my body was changing. If I can compare it, I wouldn't say it felt like a menstrual cycle. It's kind of different, but kind of the same. That's like the closest thing we could kind of compare things for certain people, if that's like the most pain you kind of felt during the time. But for the most part, I was just very tired and I really didn't have an appetite. My taste buds changed. Like I'm just getting back, kind of, sort of, back into what I liked. But a couple things that I did not like. I did not like sweets. Nothing sweet. Nothing sweet. And even to this day, I cannot wash my clothes in scented detergent. I had to go buy unscented detergent because the smell of the sweetness just made me nauseous. Ginger ale was my best friend. Ginger ale, crackers, pretzels. I always had a bag of pretzels with me. In addition to, I could not eat chicken. I kind of still can't eat chicken that much. I really didn't like any sweets, but I did, and I still love ice cream. I love some McDonald's ice cream, okay? Love me a McFlurry, love me a soft serve ice cream cone. You will catch me. And a lot of people made fun of me because I was always eating Filet-O-Fishes and McChickens and ravioli. It was something about those three that I just had to have. Like, it was just a craving. Now I don't know the last time I had a McChicken or a Filet-O-Fish. But that was something I was eating a lot. And you have to be mindful with fish. You can't really eat fish a lot, certain fish. So that was something that I was mindful of. But for the most part, it was that. And I also do my smoothies. I really loved my Smoothie Kings, chopped my smoothies. Those were good. But yeah, the first trimester, it was really uncomfortable to sleep, which is weird because, I don't have a stomach at that time. Everything's just going through its process internally, but going to sleep was just not fun anymore. And one thing that I did go through was a really massive toothache. I had a really bad toothache that, when you're pregnant, you can't take medicine. You're not really advised to take medicine. So I really couldn't take that much, and I had to be very careful what I was intaking because anything that you eat, drink, or rub on your body can go through your bloodstream and it can go to the baby and harm the baby. So you're very paranoid in the sense of how you can aid yourself and not hurt the baby. So for like almost 3 weeks, I had like massive toothaches. And luckily I was able to use Orajel, but it still did not take the pain away. And I even tried to go to the dentist and I couldn't get checked on because I had to get a notice to get a clearance from my OB. And that was something else that I was kind of like surprised about, but because this is my first time, I didn't know, that was a thing. They cannot do certain things with you unless you get it approved because of risk. So that was like one of the main things that I went through. And in addition to like your body changing, a lot of people don't, when you think of pregnancy, you automatically just assume you're getting big, but you're not thinking about the other things that are going to take place. So my breasts were very sore. I didn't have any back pains at the time, but just in here was just different. My stomach area. I just kind of felt like it wasn't just me anymore. And the baby's like as small as probably a grain of rice at some point. And not even that when you first found out. When I first found out that I was pregnant, I was 3 weeks. I found out really early. And it seems like once I found out, I was just going through the motions of feeling nauseous all the time. Certain smells. I couldn't smell the scent of coffee. That really bothered me as well. I'm trying to think what else. I was always eating blueberries. I was always eating fruit. I always loved fruit, so I'm happy that didn't change. But the trimester, the first trimester period is very tricky because you're really going through the change, and now you're adapting, you're adjusting to what's going on. It's getting ready to carry a little human inside of you, which is so amazing, but also different, And so I always say that people never really told me this, but I don't think these are things that people want to share. Like, especially the breast situation. No one's walking around saying, oh, my breast hurt. No one's saying that. But in reality, they are. You probably don't even want to wear a bra. It was certain points in times I was wearing a sports bra. Or I went to Walmart and they had like this really great, flexible, comfy sports bra that I was wearing for like a couple of weeks. Just because it was comfortable, it felt great. Also, with your eating habits, that changes. You don't always want to eat certain things, like other than the filet of fish and McChicken and the ice cream. I was always wanting like steak, like beef, which I wasn't always a beef person. Like I like steak, but even now I really enjoy, steak. So now things have changed. I do have my sweet tooth, so I want a donut and I want ice cream, of different sorts. I may want some chocolate here and there. I can eat chicken, but the texture has to be correct. I can't really do fried chicken if it's really oily. I can't do chicken like brown stew because the brown stew gravy is still kind of sweet, so that still bothers me. Even with curry chicken, the chicken is just too soft for me. Even pollo, which everyone knows that I love pollo tropical, and I really don't go there anymore because that was one of the foods that I threw up. Because the texture, I don't know if it was the seasoning, I don't know what it was, but I can't take it. So I'm so heartbroken, but yeah, I don't eat pollo that much anymore. It's usually more steak now if I go out to eat. I could eat chicken probably like at the Cheesecake Factory and stuff, but when I speak to like other mothers and stuff like that, they have like different symptoms and different things that they go through. Like I know some people who threw up all their first trimester. Thank God I didn't do that. I know some people who have always had headaches. I know some people who, always crave sweets. That wasn't me. So, like I said before, what I'm going through is going to be totally different what other people are going through. But, at the end of the day, you are going to go through something. Now, being in my second trimester, I am a little bit more energized. I still feel tired, and, from reading and asking my doctor, I'm only feeling tired because the baby is really growing right now. Like, at this point in my pregnancy, the baby is, his arms are developed, legs are developed, head is developed, eyes are developed. Like tomorrow, I will be able to see the baby with an ultrasound and get to see a well-developed baby. So that's gonna be exciting. But yeah, so first trimester is not gonna be perfect, but it is a beautiful thing because it also puts you in the mindset of, yeah, you're actually pregnant. Like it's really happening, and you can pick and choose of how you think about it. But I like to choose the positive side of just being like, this is a blessing. This is something that unfortunately some women wish they had and they haven't experienced it yet. So, through this process, you always have to be mindful that there's always someone wishing that they were in your place. And so for this is definitely a blessing. And so, you have your days where you're kind of over it, but it's only because you're going through certain things where you cannot treat it like you used to. You cannot just go get an ibuprofen. You cannot just go get a Tylenol. You cannot just go and get a regular massage. Like there's different things that you have to be mindful of when you're pregnant. And I'll definitely share that throughout this vlog. But yeah, that's the first trimester blues. And so I definitely want you to share your first trimester blues. But if it's not blues, then awesome. But just share your experience so other mothers can, see if they went through that, or, expecting mothers currently, or those who are just interested in finding out what's going on. They can see what to expect or what to be knowledgeable about. So stay tuned for another episode of the Woman Factory, and I hope you're enjoying.